again from the chapter 2, acid, bases and salt. Now in this worksheet, as in the last worksheet, what we have read about the sodium hydroxide. As I told you that from now onwards in the next worksheet will be based on the salts. So this is the second salt which we are going to study. In this today we are going to talk about a very important salt whose name is bleaching powder. In the last worksheet also we have studied that how the bleaching powder is made, and the bleaching powder, as you have seen, the bleaching powder is used in many ways, and we will study these in this worksheet. So first of all, we start with its chemical formula of bleaching powder. The chemical formula of bleaching powder is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. You have to remember this. Calcium, CaO in between, oxy and chlorine is there, so it's calcium oxychloride. Okay. Now how this bleaching powder is synthesized? It is synthesized by the action of chlorine gas on dry slaked lime. So dry slaked lime, that means it is not in the form of solution, it is having the dryness form. Calcium hydroxide is known as we are using here, and this is also known by the name slaked lime. So when we pass chlorine gas over this dry slaked lime, what we get calcium oxychloride plus water. So this calcium oxychloride is actually what? It is a bleaching powder. So what are the different uses where this bleaching powder is used? First, its property which are very important. The first property is bleaching powder is a pale yellowish powder. So when you see the bleaching powder color, it will be pale yellowish. Pale yellowish color, if you compare, it's like the urine color is also said to be the pale yellowish color, or bile juice color is also called like that. It is having a strong smell of chlorine because it is having the chlorine atom. So it is having a strong smell of chlorine. It can be easily soluble in water. If you dissolve in water, the solution can be made of this bleaching powder. What are the different areas where it is used? It is the foremost area of this is the bleaching cotton. So what this bleaching cotton means, that when the cotton, have you already in the 7th and 8th class that fibers, formation of fiber to thread, that you have seen that to remove the dirt and the grease etc. from the hairs, this bleaching powder is used. So the bleaching cotton and linen in the textile industry, that means the clothing industry, it is having a very high use. Next is the bleaching of wood pulp. The pulp which is used to make a paper in the paper industry is also cleaned through this bleaching powder. It is also used in the laundry for washing of clothes. It is a strong oxidizing agent. What is the oxidizing agent? Which provide oxygen in the reaction. And for disinfecting drinking water, that means the water which we used to drink and having germs, to kill those germs, this is used there. So these are the important uses. You have to remember this. Now we come to the other two salts which are very important. Baking soda we are talking of, and there is always confusion between the baking soda and baking powder, because baking soda we are using in as a washing purpose, and baking powder we are using as a edible purpose, means eating purpose, in adding in the different substances. So first we talk of the baking soda. The baking soda is actually sodium hydrogen carbonate. It's NaHCO3. So this is baking soda. Okay. Now this baking soda is having the formula NaHCO3, and it is produced by using sodium chloride, NaCl. We have seen in the last worksheet also that it can be obtained from the rock salt, that is sodium chloride, NaCl. You can obtain it from that. How it is obtained? We will react sodium chloride with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia. These are the reactants, and in this, when these reactants reacts, they will give you ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate. So this is how we are getting it. You have to remember this. It is a very important reaction. that when we are reacting sodium chloride along with water, carbon dioxide and ammonia, you are getting ammonium chloride and baking soda. Now the baking powder. Baking powder is actually a mixture of sodium hydrogen carbonate and tartaric acid. In this previous board exam, this question came, write the formula of baking powder, but the option of this was not given, and this marks was awarded to all the students, that sodium hydrogen carbonate is having, which we obtained from this, when the tartaric acid is added to it, we are getting baking powder, and this is the powder which we are using in our kitchens. Okay, so this is important. What are the different uses of baking soda for making baking powder? You have seen this by adding tartaric acid. Just when we add tartaric acid to baking soda, it will become baking powder. It is used an antacid. What are antacids? Which are neutralizing the acidic effect in your stomach. So as a neutralizer, why they are used as an antacid? Now this baking soda, it is made up of what? It is having a strong base and weak acid, if you remember. So when we are having a strong base, then this salt is having the pH above 7. So this will behave as a base, and if we take it, it will neutralizes the acid. That's why it is used as a antacid. It is also used as a soda acid fire extinguisher. Soda acid fire extinguishers means that we are using this soda along with, by adding some acid, that means soda here, which can be, we are using this NaHCO3, and if we take some sulfuric acid or anything, a gas will come out, that is carbon dioxide, and this gas can be used for putting off fire. So that's why it is used in the soda acid, called as soda acid fire extinguishers, for making anything crispy, like in pakoras or other things. It is added. It is also added in the food for faster cooking, so that the food gets cooked faster. Now the another salt is washing soda. We have discussed bleaching powder, we have discussed baking soda. The third one is washing soda. As I told you, that when we say washing soda, you have to remember that in this there is a 10 molecule of water are there. This is the very important formula. We used to write it wrongly when it comes to the exam. We just write sodium carbonate. We forgot to write 10 molecules of water, and you will lose marks if you don't write the 10 molecules of water. How it is prepared? It is again prepared from sodium chloride. The reactions of sodium hydrogen carbonate, preparation and washing soda are generally same. So first step, heating baking soda, then recrystallization of sodium carbonate. So first, actually in your NCERT, if you see, both the reactions have been given along with it. That means first you have to write this equation. Okay, if the preparation of washing soda comes, then remember that first you have to write this equation, this one, because you have to show that from where you are getting this sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is shown here. So first equation should be this, then this will be the second equation, sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is heating. Actually it is not written here, we can show it by a triangular. When we heat this sodium hydrogen carbonate, we will get sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide. Then as it is hygroscopic nature means they will absorb moisture from the nature. That means if you keep, have you seen that washing powder which is used in your bathrooms etc., if you kept it open, or you can try put some washing soda outside in a pan, you will see that after some time it will be wetty, because it will absorb water from the environment. So it is hygroscopic in nature, absorb moisture from the air, and this 10 molecules of water are added to it. So this is how this washing soda is prepared. It is the manufacture of borax. So this borax is what? It is a kind of solution, you can say, which is used. You have seen here that borax mixture, Actually, what is borax? Borax is a sodium borate. Sodium tetraborate or disodium borate is a compound which is having the formula Na2H4B4O2. Okay, and mostly where it is used, it is used as a cleansing product for several decades. That means this borax is used as a cleansing product. You can remember that. In glass and soap and paper industries, it is also used, this washing soda, as a cleansing agent, borax mixture, and for removing permanent hardness of water. What is permanent hardness of water? The water which is having the presence of calcium and magnesium ions is known as hard water. So for removing this permanent hardness of water, we can use sodium carbonate. And this question also came in this year's board exam, which salt we use for the removing of permanent hardness of water. You can write this one, you can write hydrogen carbonate, both can be used. Now we come to the question answers. First question, write the chemical name and formula of baking soda and washing soda. So remember that baking soda you have to write this NaCO3, and for washing soda you have to write Na2CO3 plus 10H2O. Okay, how is washing soda synthesized? This washing soda synthesis, as I told you, instead of writing only these two equations, you write all the three equations. First one you write this one, then second, and then third one. And instead of prepared from sodium chloride, you can write it is, firstly we have to write this equation. So prepared from sodium chloride is easily shown from this equation. So you can write prepared from sodium chloride, you write this equation, then heating baking soda, you write this equation, and recrystallization of sodium carbonate, you write the third equation. So this is how this question becomes very informative. Answer of this question become very informative. Then what is the difference between baking soda and baking powder? It is very well given in this tabular form. Just you have to write all these things. Then the fourth question is, name and write the formula of a chemical which is pale yellow in color and gives small smell of chlorine. This one which we have read here, properties of calcium oxychloride. So you have to write the name calcium oxychloride. In bracket you can write bleaching powder, and then you have to write formula CaOCl2. Why it is giving a smell of that chlorine? Because it is having the chlorine atoms in this. Then fifth, the chemical used to kill germs in washing soda. Is it true statement? The chemicals used to kill germs is washing soda. Is it true statement? Clarify. So here it is a thinking based question, that is the washing soda is used for killing germs? No. For killing germs we are using bleaching powder, we are using calcium oxychloride. Washing soda is used for removing the permanent hardness of water. So you can clarify it, this is not a true statement. We are using calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder for the killing of germs, and